What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and paranormal lore. Welcome back, welcome back. Happy to be back. Hopefully you guys are doing awesome and taking care of yourselves. Welcome back, my favorite perfect pitches. Let's hit the switches. Don't drive into ditches. And, I don't know, my back itches. So, what are we talking about today? So I was having a conversation with my friend, and he was saying, it's actually my brother-in-law, and he was saying that I consider him my friend, and he was saying, Elon Musk is the devil. Elon Musk is the Antichrist. And I said, you gotta be out your damn mind. I said, how the hell can you say that? I said, it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, this dude has given us everything the future needs. He's given us the future. He's given us the past. He's given us everything. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he gave us a time machine at this point. I mean, he's already, and a lot of people don't realize all of the companies he's given us. I mean, the dude is almost an alien at this point. I mean, his intelligence level is off the charts, and I just can't imagine a world without him. It would suck. It would totally suck. And I'll give you examples for why. But let's argue my brother-in-law's point that Elon's the devil. Okay, so I'm trying to figure this out. And so I was asking him, I said, why do you say that? What is it? Why do you say that? I said, this guy has given us everything. He's given us even the boring company. And for those who don't know what the Boring Company is, it's a huge tunnel boring company that basically creates tunnels for everything. From subways to, actually in Las Vegas, they have tunnels just for Tesla cars. And he wanted to make tunnels for super bullet trains as well in America. So, I mean, he's given us the Boring Company. He's given us Starlink, allowing us to have internet in far regions of places that wouldn't be able to have it. He's given us Neuralink that would link up with Starlink, that would allow people to have the internet right into their heads, which is going to be the future. Mark my words. I'm not saying that everybody's going to have Neuralink, but they will have some sort of internet within their heads. If you want to see what the future looks like, watch the Amazon series, The Feed. I think it's only one season, but it is indicative and 100% accurate of what the world will be like in probably 10 years. So you should probably check it out because you're going to be living in it. Basically, in that show, everybody has implants, and you're able to use it. It's called The Feed. You're having a feed in your vision, right into your eyeball whenever you want it. But the main issue is that you have to give up your freedom, because what can they do? They can track you. They can track you, and they use that data for, your feed. And what else did they do? You also have instantaneous access to opening up multiple windows in your vision. It's like the most insane thing I've ever seen. And it's tough too, because what happens? Well, people end up developing these addictions, and they're so addicted that they have to go into a camp to detox. They have to get off of it. They have so many windows open all the time that if they don't have it open, they literally go into convulsions. And that's what addiction is, right? An addiction, a physical addiction as well as a mental addiction. So, like, if you're going to base it off of that, I could understand. I could say, okay, that could be dangerous, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's the devil. It just means that we're too stupid to not get off the internet. So I implored them. I said, we have all these great things. We have Tesla vehicles, for God's sakes. And not everybody's into Tesla vehicles. I get that. But they are great. There's no denying that. They just don't start up in the winter. So don't buy them in the winter, right? They just freeze up. So we've got Tesla. We've got SpaceX. The rocket just landed, and and it was able to be recaptured. So it shot off, and it was able to be recaptured. Something that NASA's never been able to do, or at least publicly say they were able to do. I said, God damn, they can do that. I said, you're out of your mind. I said, look at all this shit. This dude is a modern day, genius. And not only a genius, but using his money for the benefit of humanity. He wants humanity to be able to get off the planet and to be able to colonize another planet if we need to, because this planet will not be around for forever. We need to be able to get off of it eventually as well, or we'll die here. So this guy is helping humanity, and that's what he said he's wanted to do all this time, and he created PayPal so that people could make payments across eBay and across other, all kinds of other purchases. I mean, the guy is just like, he's living in like the year 3000, and we're all stuck in like the year early 2000s. Let's face it. So I said, how can you say all these things are bad? He couldn't. He could. What do they call those? Plot warning, or spoiler alert. He couldn't say that those things are bad. What he could say was that X, which is, Twitter that he bought, which is now X, he says is bad because they're allowing all speech on X. Whereas before they were monitoring it more, and it was more centered towards the left. And now it's more moderate. More people have a voice, and that's all it is. That's all he can say. I'm like, okay, I get it. You're on the left. That's fine. You're entitled to your choice, and I'm not going to say what I am, but I'm saying I don't even care about that, because that's so far down in the totem pole of what he's accomplished that it's almost non-existent. It almost doesn't matter. You don't want to use X? Don't use X. There's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's numerous other social media platforms out there. TikTok blows X away, I think. So there's just lots more options out there to use, even though TikTok apparently is a Chinese company that's stealing our data and going to use it to, end us or something. I have no idea. But nonetheless, that is his main point. So if people are saying that Musk is bad, you got to really question him and say, what's he really bad about? I mean, my brother-in-law likening him to like Lex Luthor. I'm like, dude, Lex Luthor wants to like end humanity, okay? Elon Musk wants to elevate humanity and bring us into the next millennia, or 10 millennia from now. He wants us to be able to get off the planet. He wants us to have the internet, and he knows how to give us energy for free. He said you take what, like it was like 100 mile by 100 mile square out in the desert, and you have it filled with solar panels, and everybody would have free energy. Boom. I mean, Lex Luthor isn't doing that shit. If you guys don't know who Lex Luthor is, he's one of the enemies of Superman. He's super rich, billionaire, but he always uses his forces for evil. Musk isn't doing that. He gave us affordable, convenient vehicles that do the job most of the time, electrically, and independently. They'll drive themselves. People are asleep on the freaking at the wheel on the interstate. And somebody might say, no, Lex Luthor would definitely do that. He would have everybody asleep at the wheel on the interstate, and then he'd just shut the shit off, and then everybody be dead. I'm like, okay, well, okay, that's if that were the case, then you might have a point. But how many people actually have Teslas right now? I mean, is it even 5% of the population, of America? I seriously doubt it. So, I think that Musk's pros definitely outweigh his cons. I mean, he's definitely got, hero status. If you look at him versus Bezos, Musk is doing everything that Bezos wishes he could do. Bezos wishes he brought a bunch of great things to humanity. You know what Bezos did? Bezos destroyed humanity. Okay, Bezos took all the mom and pop shops and annihilated them. Now you can say that's natural selection, that the commercialization of the internet was inherent and was going to happen anyway, regardless of who did it. Now that would be a valid point. But Bezos is the one that did it. Bezos is the one that came up with it. Bezos is responsible. So we have all of these mom and pop shops out of business. We have a lot of big box shops out of business too. So you could say all these folks that had a purpose and a reason to get up and go to work, they don't now. Now you might say a little bit of the same for Musk as well now with these robots, these Optimus robots that he's coming out with. These robots are going to be able to do the job of many laborers or the job of many computer workers, especially with, the further and more developed AI becomes and they upgrade the systems on these computers and on these robots. They're going to be taking over. They've already taken over maids' jobs. Anybody that's a maid, these things can do it. You buy one for $30,000 or whatever the price is going to be, and you don't have to pay your maid $40,000 because that's probably what they're paying them, in California. The rest of us folks can't afford a maid, even if we could, right? Even if it was half that cost, $20,000, a $30,000 investment is amazing because you're going to save so much money, and it's never going to ask for a raise. So how many jobs will Musk take away from us with that? That has yet to be seen. It might take a while for that to really happen too, but we'll see. How fast can they ramp up? We'll see. But who really took away the jobs initially? Bezos, 100%. Whether he wants to claim responsibility or not, Amazon took away the ability from mom and pop shops to be able to function and be profitable enough to stay in business. Nobody wants to leave their house anymore. They just want to order from home. So who's the real devil here? In my mind, it's not Musk. In my mind, if any rich billionaire was, to be to blame, I'd say it'd be Bezos. Do I love Amazon? Hell yeah, I love Amazon. Am I a participant on Amazon? Yeah, man, I buy stuff on Amazon a lot, but I also make sure to frequent the businesses that I like that are local and try to give them the business. I don't buy stuff that they can share with me or sell to me on Amazon. So in town where I'm at, we only have a Walmart. That's it. We don't have a lot of other options. There's not like a Home Depot. There's not a Menards. There's not a Costco. There's not like those other options. It's one Walmart. That's it. Walmart dominated. So whether you go with Walmart or Amazon, I don't really think there's a difference. But if you can frequent, small business owners, you should do it. If you can tip well, do it. Because that's going to keep people in business. That's going to keep people in jobs. That's going to keep people able to work and have a purpose. And soon, Musk and Bezos are going to take us out. Take out the workers. And at that point, you're going to have a lot of people pissed at Musk, I think. At that point. For that reason. But for the reason of X and for social media and, the deconstruction of Twitter, no. Just, giving people more of a voice, no, I don't care about that. I care about jobs. I care about the welfare of humanity. And people could argue and could say, oh, well, if he's allowing more centrist and more right-wingers a voice, well, you can't erase people's voices without being able to change their minds as well. So if people can have the ability to speak their minds, then you can have a conversation. But if you just wipe out an entire people, then you're just Hitler, right? I mean, that's all you would be. So if you're just taking away people's ability to speak, then you're no better than Hitler, right? That's just the way it is. So we have a lot of people that are being censored, regardless of whether you're on the right or the left, in social media through these algorithms. And a lot of folks that do live in California are running these algorithms, right? And a lot of people in China run these algorithms, and we're having all of these other algorithms that are being silenced as well. That are silencing posts as well. Rogan just did a podcast with Trump, and it's like unsearchable. He said you have to search it on like YouTube, or if you can't find it there and they're blocking it there, you have to search it somewhere else. It's like insane that they're totally blocking off like a presidential candidate. I get it. There a lot of people don't like Trump. I get that, but a lot of people don't like Kamala either. And so we have to have an open party on both sides. Otherwise, you're going to get people that feel disenfranchised. You're going to get people that feel like they're not being heard, and you have to allow people to be heard so we can have a conversation, so we can tell what's right and what's wrong. Otherwise, you're never going to know. You're never going to know. We're never going to be able to build forward. So anyway, is Musk the bad guy here? I mean, let's go down the list of things, right? Real quick. PayPal, SpaceX, Neuralink, Starlink, took over Twitter, made it X, Tesla, and many more. Now we have the Optimus robot. We have the Robovan, that huge van that can carry 20 people or 30 people or humongous amounts of cargo, and the Robotaxi now. I mean, just the sheer amount of stuff that's coming out of Musk's pocket and companies, the Boring Company. I mean, it's just like the list goes on and on and on. This guy has delivered time after time after time. You can't deny the dude has our future in mind, and the future is already coming. If you haven't seen that Optimus, if you haven't seen the Robovan, if you haven't seen the cyber taxi, if you haven't seen the Cybertruck, go check out this stuff. I mean, the future's already here. As soon as this robot starts to become more affordable and starts to get built, and they can scale it up, right? Because scaling takes time. Building these things takes time. As soon as these things start hitting the market and hitting your communities, and you're seeing these things, we will be in the iRobot movie. We will be in the future. Hopefully these things don't turn on us and it turns out to be like an Arnie Schwarzenegger film. All right, guys. Well, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. What do you think? Do you think Musk is a genius on the good side and has humanity's best intentions? Or do you think he's more like a Lex Luthor and will eventually turn out evil? Well, like they say in the Batman trilogy with Christopher Nolan and Christian Bale, you either die young and die the hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Isn't it interesting? Those that die young are often, heroized and romanticized. But if you keep living long enough, you may end up like P. Diddy. So, either way, I like Musk. I like Musk. Hopefully he doesn't live long enough to see himself do something bad. But in the meantime, I think he's doing well. He's doing great, and hopefully this podcast ages well. All right, guys. I love you. Take care of yourselves. Follow through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams, whatever they may be. Share that white light that you have inside of you. Be peaceful. Be caring of others. Take care of yourselves and others. If you haven't prioritized yourself and your health, do it. It's so important. I can't tell you how important it is. I did not prioritize my health for a long period of time, and I just started to again, and I'm seeing the benefits of it, and it's really paying off. So take care of yourselves as much as you can. If you haven't, start doing so, and continue to question the universe around you. Until next time, guys, take care of yourselves. Lockdown Universe out. Peace.